Good morning to the leader in you. This is Catherine, your host. We are back for another edition of Good Morning to the Leader in You. And listen, we are a couple of days away from October the 1st. We are a couple of days away from the fourth quarter. We are a couple of days away from you walking into your next season. When you think about the fourth quarter, I want you to think about your next season. You walking into purpose, you walking into your destiny, you walking out of toxic situations, you walking out of environments that have been holding you back and holding you down, you walking out of environments that have not allowed you to be creative and flow in your talent and abilities. You're walking out from something and you're walking into something. I want you to visualize yourself this Thursday, October the 1st, walking into your next season. As you walk out of any toxic environment, yes, it will be challenging. Yes, it will be hard. It will feel like you are abandoning that period of your life, that area of your life. But you have to really think, what are you abandoning? And if you don't abandon it, how will it deplete you if you stay in that environment? How will it rob you of your next, whatever your next is? How will it rob you of your next if you stay in that environment? Is that environment fruitful for you to grow? Is that environment fruitful for you to thrive? Is that environment fruitful for you to operate in your best self? Think about right now, this moment. Are you operating in your best self? Or are you just managing? Are you just making it? Are you just pushing forward? Are you just, barely operating in your optimum level? And that's a thing that we all have to think about. I want you to take a moment and think, are you operating in your optimal capacity? Take a moment to think about that. As you're reflecting, I want you to close your eyes. As you close your eyes, I want you to think about the first 9 months of 2020. Yes, it has been challenging, but I want you to reflect on the first 9 months. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and this month of September. What was challenging? What were some of those good points? Because everything could not be bad, right? You must have had some areas that you thrived in, but then there were also some moments that you had challenges. And now I want you to think about this next quarter that's coming up. October, November, December. What do you see? What do you see? Do you see yourself stepping into a new environment? Do you see your business growing and thriving? Do you see your family coming together as a unit? That community project that you've been working on, can you see it manifesting itself and impacting your neighborhood? Can you see your business expanding into multiple states? Can you see your financial growth expanding? Can you see your capacity, your mental capacity expanding because you're picking up books and you're reading, you're feeding yourself, you're feeding your mind? So there's some quotes that I want to share this morning that deals with leadership that impacted me, and hopefully it will impact you. Now, us as leaders, we know we're often put in situations where we have to speak, we have to share, right? There's a quote that says, every time you have to speak, you are auditioning for leadership. I'm going to say that again. Every time you have to speak, you are auditioning for leadership. And that is a quote by James Humes. In other words, never get to a place that you have arrived. This is my interpretation of the quote. Every time you step before anyone to speak, maybe you're at an engagement, you've been invited to speak, you've been retained to speak, or maybe you're doing a virtual event and you're speaking. At that moment in time, You have to arise to the occasion and speak in that season and for that moment and to the people that you're called to speak to. So you're auditioning. So we cannot dwell on last month, last year, speaking event. Yeah, I know I did that and I did an awesome job. Well, that's wonderful. That was last year. That was last month. But in this present moment, what are you speaking to? Who are you called to speak to as a leader? Always staying fresh, always staying on the cutting edge of what's going on in the current moment with whom you are to speak to. There's another quote that says, "You are not here merely to make a living. You are here in order to enable the world to live more amply, with greater vision, with a finer spirit of hope and achievement. You are here to enrich the world, and you impoverish yourself if you forget the errand." Now, my interpretation of that quote, right? So we are in leadership capacity. We have our businesses. We have our speaking platform, right? We're not doing it just for the money. It cannot just be for the currency that we're going to get. It has to be for a deeper purpose and a deeper meaning, right? We're here to enable the world to live more amply with greater vision. So when we talk about enable, that's your action word. We're here to unlock certain things in a person's life. We're here to unlock certain things when we're going out to speak, or if we're managing our company and we have staff and employees. We are the entity that enables. We are that action piece in someone else's life. We are the catalyst to help bring and birth vision into our families, into our business, and into our community. So I ask you, what are we going to be birthing this fourth quarter? Fourth quarter is in a couple of days. What visions have we even had in our own life that has not been birthed yet, have not come to fruition? And even if the fourth quarter is not the birthing season, is it the season to prepare for the birthing season in 2021? We have to always be mindful and conscious what we are doing, how we're doing it, and ultimately who is being impacted by our efforts, by our actions, right? We have to continually be mindful our actions impact someone else. There's a quote that says, "A good leader leads the people from above them. A great leader leads the people from within them." In other words, are we helping to cultivate someone else's leader on the inside, or are we just trying to lead above them and show that we're greater than someone else? No. I don't believe in that concept. I don't believe in that philosophy in terms of leading. We must lead and allow people to build within. We are leaders because we help unlock something in someone else. So the question is, the first 9 months of this year, who have we helped to unlock a vision? Or have we just had, what can I get from my platform? What give me. It's all about me. Who have we helped unlock a vision, a dream? Have we enabled anyone? Did we kick anyone into action because of our efforts? There's a quote that says, "Don't follow the crowd. Let the crowd follow you." Good morning to the leader in you. When we say good morning to the leader in you, that means you are an influencer. In other words, who is following you? Who is following your mission? Who is following your organization? Who is following this vision that you've already put out there in the atmosphere? And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I have to be a part of this." That was a quote by Margaret Thatcher. Don't follow the crowd. Let the crowd follow you. Sometimes we get into a place where we're watching what other people are doing in their business and so forth, and we try to, mimic another person's platform. However, it's never going to be effective because we have to flow in our specific gifts and talents. I've spoken on that many times before. We cannot duplicate someone else because we are an original. There's a quote that says, "We are what we pretend to be. So we must be careful about what we pretend to be." And that goes right with what I just was talking about. We cannot duplicate another leader's flow or their style. We have to be unique unto ourselves. And this is what we need to focus on and be intentional about this upcoming fourth quarter. Who are you going to show up as? Who are you being? Are you showing up as your authentic self as a leader? Or are we trying to mimic another leadership's style and flow? When we think about leadership, leadership is the art of giving people a platform for spreading ideas that work. So in other words, you as a leader, what type of platform have you created to help enable another person to kick into action, to execute? By your efforts as a leader, again, what platform have you created? So, I'm never going to wait just to be invited to something. I'm a builder, and I know I'm speaking to other builders. So the question is, what platform have you created even for yourself? Once you've created that platform for yourself, it should be enough room for other individuals that you are connected to and they are connected to you, for you to enable them. You are to help kick something into action in their life. You're able to help them unlock their vision. And then it's going to spread abroad, ultimately impacting your family, your business, and your community. There's a quote that says, the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets people to do great things. So sometimes we want to be the deal. What we have to do and shift our mindset is that we are not always the deal, right? If we are able to empower another person and boost them forward, I love that. I love the fact that if I had an impact on someone's life, they've gone farther than me. They've been able to do great things, and then their life impact another person's life. Because that's essentially what a leader does. If we're not impacting someone's life to go beyond us, it's like we want to stifle other people because we want them to stay in a box with us. We don't want anyone else to get ahead. That's the wrong mindset. Because I truly believe if you help unlock someone else's vision, your vision is going to ultimately grow simultaneously. I just think it's a yin and a yang. I think they're married together. There's a quote by John C. Maxwell that says, to add value to others, one must first value others. So in order to us adding value to other people, we must truly, uniquely, authentically value other people. Sometimes people say my business isn't growing, my business is stagnant. Well, then we have to question, how many people have you valued this week? How many people have you valued this month? How many people have you poured into? Now, again, as a leader, I'm not saying stretch yourself thin. By no means am I saying that. There's a certain group of people, yes, that you are assigned to work with, and they work with you. It's a yin and a yang. But sometimes we're in a place where there is no yin and yang. There's nothing being reciprocated. There's nothing going out. There's nothing coming in. It's just stagnant. So we must, as leaders, identify who we're going to pour into, and then also make sure we're being poured into so we can continue to thrive at our best optimum, right? A quote says, a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. And that's a quote by Douglas MacArthur. And I'm going to say that again. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader. It's like we just waking up. Yeah, I know I just got this wrapped tight. I'm a leader. I know I'm the one. See me. No. You're not setting out to be it, but becomes one by the equality of his actions. In other words, it's something innate in that person. And because of who they naturally are, the leader oozes out of them. It just naturally comes out. And the integrity of his intent. The integrity of why a person is doing what they do. And that person is marked. You can see a leader a mile away. They don't have to say, hey, look at me, I'm a leader. You can tell it because that person is marked to be a leader. As we get ready to wind down this segment for today, I want us all to think about how can we continue to build? How do we continue to grow internally so that way we are effective leaders? How do we continue to grow so that way we can make that impact? I want everyone to take some time to think about what areas do you need to grow in? I'm going to think about what areas I need to grow in. So this Thursday, October 1st, we're walking out of a toxic situation and we're walking into our next. Whatever your next may be, this is that thing that you've been praying about, that thing that you've been desiring for yourself personally and for your business, for your family, and for your community. This Thursday is about walking out of and walking into. And with that, I'm going to see everybody at the top. If anyone needs any assistance with business coaching, send me an email, ct@katherinetrotter.com. Check out my website, www.katherinetrotter.com.